Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of rural France, there lived a beautiful and kind-hearted young woman named Sophie. She had long golden hair and sparkling blue eyes that shone like the stars on a clear night. Sophie lived with her loving parents, Jacques and Marie, and her younger brother, Pierre. The family owned a small bakery where they spent their days baking delicious bread and pastries for the villagers. Sophie's laughter and warm smile made everyone feel welcome, and she was beloved by all. Tragedy struck one fateful day when Sophie's parents were killed in a fire that ravaged their bakery. The villagers tried to save them, but it was too late. Sophie, only 19 years old, was left to care for Pierre, who was just 12. Heartbroken and alone, Sophie struggled to keep the bakery running, but the grief was overwhelming. She sold the bakery and moved to Paris, seeking a fresh start. Pierre was sent to live with a distant relative, and Sophie promised to provide for him. In Paris, Sophie found work as a seamstress, but her life was filled with hardship and loneliness. She missed Pierre dearly and worked tirelessly to save money for his education. Years passed, and Sophie's health began to decline. She contracted tuberculosis, a disease that ravaged her body and spirit. Despite her struggles, Sophie continued working, determined to provide for Pierre. One day, Sophie received a letter from Pierre, now 18, announcing his engagement to a lovely young woman named Colette. Overjoyed, Sophie scrimped and saved to attend the wedding. As Sophie arrived at the wedding, Pierre was overjoyed to see his sister. But Sophie's frail health was evident, and she knew her time was running out. The wedding celebration was bittersweet, filled with laughter and tears. Sophie danced with Pierre one last time, her eyes shining with love and sorrow. Days later, Sophie's condition worsened. She called Pierre to her bedside, whispering, "I'm so proud of you, my dear brother. Take care of Colette and never forget our parents' love." With those final words, Sophie's eyes closed, and her fragile body surrendered to the illness. Pierre held her hand, tears streaming down his face as the love of his life slipped away. The village mourned Sophie's passing, remembering her kindness and beauty. Pierre and Colette built a life together, always cherishing the memories of the sister and aunt they loved and lost. Years later, when Pierre's own children asked about their Aunt Sophie, he would smile through tears, telling stories of her laughter, love, and sacrifice. And in the quiet moments, Pierre would whisper, "Sophie, ma chère sœur, je t'aime." Sophie, my dear sister, I love you. Follow for more kind of stories like this.